Hello everyone, and let's do a book talk for A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. This was a reread for me, but the first time I read it, I was not reviewing books like I currently am. So I wanted to mark the words and do everything so that I can actually put a review out for you. So this is book number 1 out of, this is a trilogy as of right now. And it is told in third person. For this one, we are following Pip. She is a senior in high school and has to work on a capstone. When I was in high school, I did not have to do capstones, so I don't know if it's like a district thing. I don't know if it's a state thing or what. I never knew what a capstone project was until I was in college and had to do a capstone for my master's degree in human resource management. Am I using that degree? No, I am not. So, and sometimes that's just how the cookie crumbles. So anyway, so I finally knew what it was. And so when I picked this up, which was after I got my degree, I knew what a capstone was. But until that point, I didn't even know that seniors did a capstone project. So I don't know if it's like AP thing, like advanced placement. That I have no idea. I was not in AP in high school or anything. So I don't know what determines what high school age people do capstones. No idea. This is told in third person. We are following Pip. Again, she's a senior in high school working on a capstone. There is a prequel to this, and the prequel follows Pip as she is trying to decide what she is going to do her capstone project on. In this book, she has decided. She is working on a case where she feels like the police blundered in a way the investigation, and people have accused the wrong person of a girl's murder. And is she even murdered, or is she alive and missing? I don't know. But Pip decides to reinvestigate it and use that as her capstone project. There was an audiobook available when I did read this. There are like 9 narrators, so it's like a full cast of characters. Highly recommend listening to the audiobook. It was great. The audiobook is 10 hours and 53 minutes on standard one-time speed. This is a young adult thriller mystery and was published in 2019. My particular edition is 387 pages, and this edition is from Book of the Month. So I have one thing in this book that I've underlined, so let me go ahead and tell you that. Oh, I have 2 things. They're just on the same page. It says, the people you love weren't calculated, subtracted, or held at arm's length across a decimal point. I don't know. Anyway. Sometimes remembering isn't for yourself. Sometimes you do it just to make someone else smile. That first one I underlined, I don't remember what about that, but anyway. So this one, so again, we're following Pip as she works on her capstone project. The further she goes into this, she makes a friend who is the brother of the boy who was accused of the murder of the girl in this town. And they investigate. As Pip continues to investigate and uncover some things that were definitely blundered up by the news reporters and the police agency, she starts to get some threatening messages like stop, leave it alone, or else. And Pip starts to basically break the law, thinking that it's okay, like breaking and entering, things like that. There is a point in this where her dog goes missing, so please be aware of that. It was hard to read the first time, still hard to read for me the second time. But there's a reason for it in this. So it's not there just for shock value. It sucks. And that's what it is. You're just following Pip as she investigates, and she does things that she shouldn't, to the point of breaking the law again, to investigate this, to try to, because she becomes convinced that the person that was accused is innocent, and she is doing what she can to prove his innocence, to the point that, again, she's a senior in high school breaking the law. And personally, I think if I were in the academic setting as an adult and heard that a student was doing such things, I would probably seriously consider, if they are going to the extremes of breaking the law to get information for their capstone project, saying you either stop doing that, either tell him you either stop doing things that you're going to break the law, or we're disqualifying this capstone project type of a thing. I don't know. I'm not in the district setting, but that's my thinking. And I think as a parent, I would be pretty livid. But of course, she keeps secrets and her parents have no idea. And they're just blissfully unaware, which tends to be the theme with young adults. Young adult, not in real life, in young adult books I'm talking, they tend to get away with a lot more stuff that they would be getting away with in real life. So that's pretty much the book in a nutshell. I really don't want to spoil anything because it's better the less you know about this going in, the more twists and turns and revelations you'll find, and the more enjoyable it will be going into it by yourself. So let's talk about representation, and then I'll go into content and trigger warning. We have a Nigerian representation, divorce. There is mention of brown skins. That could be a couple of different ethnicities. It just says brown skin. We do have LGBT, specifically female. Female is referenced very briefly. So yeah. Now, as far as I think that's all. Yeah, that's all I have written down. With the divorce and the Nigerian, those actually go hand in hand, as Pip's parents are divorced. And so her mother has remarried. She lives with her mom and her stepdad, and her stepdad is Nigerian. So that was pretty cool. And it looks like Pip and her stepdad have a really good relationship. And so that was really cool to see. Okay, as far as your content and your trigger warnings, we have suicide described, death of a parent talked about, death of a teenager talked about. There is racism, there is bullying, there is talk of self-harm, you have an affair mentioned, rape is mentioned, you have underage drinking, at least in the US it is considered underage. You have a teacher-student relation talked about, you have a hostage situation, you have someone talked about where they have a mental delay, and so that could be your representation as well. You also have emotional abuse talked about. You have, as I said, the missing dog. You actually also have animal death. And then I have something else. Oh, I wrote down rape again. Okay, so those are... you also have, in addition to underage drinking, you have underage drug use, like illicit drug use. You have Alzheimer's mentioned, and you have roofies, I guess is the word. Basically, someone's drink is being spiked so that it's like a date rape situation. And that is a big theme in this as well. So definitely proceed with caution if those things are particularly bothersome to you. Because there is a lot of talk about date rape. So please proceed with caution. All right. In case you're still on the fence, let's talk about the words in case any of these sway you to avoid the book. If they pass your threshold, please be aware this edition I read, again, was 387 pages. So in that 387 pages, the following words pop up. We have the word God 24 times, not in a religious context. Suicide 8, dick once, porn once, shit 11, hell 9, fuck 11, bitch 5, whore once, damn 4, asshole 6, rape 7, slut 3, grind once, ballsy once, smartass once, and vagina once. So those are your word contents and everything. Now, because I have started reading the author bio that's in the book, let's go ahead and read about Holly Jackson. It says, Holly Jackson started writing stories at a young age, completing her first poor attempt at a novel when she was 15. And it actually says poor in here, in parentheses. So she graduated from the University of Nottingham, where she studied literary linguistics and creative writing. With a master's degree in English, she enjoys playing video games and watching true crime documentaries so she can pretend to be a detective. She lives in London. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder is her debut novel. So, and I did notate underage drinking, at least in the US. It is considered underage, but if this book takes place where the author lives in London, if this takes place in London, that underage drinking might actually not be true. So I don't know what the legal age for drinking is outside of the US. I just know in the US, you need to be older than 18 or older. No, you need to be 21. Hello, duh. Had a brain fog a moment there. It's like, what age was it? It's 21. You have to be 21 or older to drink. So, at least in the US, and I know in other countries it is younger. So again, that's why I say it's underage in the US. So I'm not quite sure about London or England. So that is this. Let me know, have you read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder? Did you like it? I enjoyed the series. The prequel I enjoyed. I don't think it was as good as this book was, but it was still a fun read. And I am looking forward to picking up the second one, hopefully this month. As of when I'm filming this, it is September, so I'm hoping to pick up the sequel to this, but we'll see. And yeah, let me know if you've read this. If you did you enjoy it, or was this not for you? Knowing what's contained in this book, if you have not read it yet, will you pick this book up? Or now knowing what the content is this one that you need to avoid? Which is perfectly fine. Talk to me in the comment section below, and until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book, and I will talk to you later.